Hey everyone, we have had a little bit of a strange week this week. Josephine and me also, we've both been a little bit under the weather. And you see that now I'm good again. But just like when this weather starts to change, you see that it's like your body saying to slow down a little bit. And I think that's the natural flow of the seasons of life that we should follow. And that's what nature does as well, right? As you find yourself with a little bit of seasonal flu or something under the blankets, and you look outside and you see, well, that nature does the same thing, literally the same thing. It closes off a little bit, it slows down a little bit, and it covers itself with a blanket of leaves and that kind of stuff to protect itself and to save energy. And that is kind of what we're doing then also, at least what we used to be doing. We used to live way more with the seasons, and when the seasons slowed down, when it got colder, we used to slow down. And when the days got shorter, our days of activity got shorter. And nowadays, of course, with our 9 to 5s, we don't get to slow down. The alarm still goes at, for me, it's 6. And then you start working at your job at, whatever the time is, but it doesn't change in summer, or it doesn't change in winter, or in whatever season. So that means that at some point now, I'm gonna be driving off to work in the dark, and I'm coming home in the dark. And on its own, there's not much wrong with that, because, well, I got working lights on the car and everything works. It's warm at the office, everything is taken care of, we're comfortable. But it's not in line with nature in that sense. Nature is telling us to slow down, reflect, and prepare for real winter to come. And then in winter, start preparing for summer to come, to work your ass off, to get ready for next winter. And that is a little bit the flow of how it used to be, how we used to live. And I'm not sure if that's better or worse, because we also enabled ourselves as a society to get our own rhythm in a sense, right? Because we have all these comforts and we have all these things that made it possible for us to work all year round, to produce all year round. But it also gave us expectations to produce all year round, and to be active all year round, and to be on it all the time, and be wired and focused, and to grow. We have this mindset of growth all the time. When you look at when you're reading business books, which I occasionally do because it has my interest, our economy is built to, it only works when it grows. It always has to grow, and it always has to be more, and it always has to be faster and more efficient. And that efficiency is the thing that strikes me sometimes, because I really appreciate efficiency. I really like doing things in order, in structure, to gain as much efficiency as possible. But it's a different sort of efficiency that our economy pushes us to achieve, which is pretty much working our ass off all the time. And if there's one thing that is super efficient, in which nothing goes to waste, then it is nature. And nature slows down with the seasons. And that sometimes makes me think, like, we are on all the time, and yet we are so much less efficient than nature. In nature, nothing goes to waste. A tree falls, but it doesn't go to waste. An animal dies, but it doesn't go to waste. It all becomes part of the whole again. So every problem automatically becomes part of the solution, and that's of the bigger solution, I should say. And that is the most efficient thing there is. And yet, in our economy, in order to grow, we keep producing and extracting from nature and from a business and from ourselves and the people around us. We keep extracting energy and producing a lot of waste in that process without slowing down every once in a while. And that slowing down, that part of having reflection and having, well, metaphorically, trees fall down in your life and break it down and become part of the whole again, that takes time. And that time, in order to have that manifest, we need to slow down every now and then. I think we should, if we want to gain real efficiency, also in business, we need to start looking at nature more again. We should work our businesses and ourselves as nature does. And with that, I'm saying that with the seasons, with the flow, let there be waste, but let the waste not go to waste. Let the waste become a part of the bigger picture, of the bigger solution, and allow ourselves to rest and to slow down with the seasons. Let the seasons guide us a little bit more instead of the competition. And that is what the market does. If I work an hour longer, I produce a little bit more, in theory, than my competitors. And I need to gain market share to become the biggest and to make the most money. But what if we stopped comparing ourselves to the market, and if we talk about people instead of businesses, what if we stopped comparing ourselves to other people? What if we stopped being productive all the time and therefore thinking that we will be the best of whatever we can be, or the best of better than others or something? What if we slow down, stop looking at what other people do or other businesses do, and start looking at what nature does, which is again the most efficient thing there is, because nothing goes to waste? Then maybe we would grow a little less fast, maybe even a little less fast than our competition or other people that we like to look at all the time and compare ourselves to all the time, and instead become really efficient. And with really efficient I mean if you want to keep the metaphor with business, that we can gain more profit with less turnover. No, how do you call that? Omzet in Dutch. Yeah, I think turnover. Whatever. Make less money, but gain more profit because we are more efficient. Because that is essentially what nature does. If you let it, it's just gonna grow, but it's gonna die off also. It's gonna die off a lot, and it's gonna take rest, and it's gonna take time, and it's gonna create a perfect balance between the use of what we would otherwise consider waste and reuse that. And not reuse that because you need to get rid of it, but reuse that because it is an essential part of growth. It is the food of the next evolutionary step in your life. Right now, in a society that we are used to scaling ourselves to other businesses, we're benchmarking ourselves to other businesses and other people instead of nature. We don't realize that we are, instead of becoming more efficient, we are becoming less and less efficient. And that is, if you think about it, the common sense of nature. That is how smart. It's not smart, it's logical. That is how logical nature is. You cannot go 100% forever. There needs to be, well, you could go 100% forever, but we tend to go 110 forever, and that's impossible. Nature does that. Nature goes 110, maybe 150 in spring, when everything starts to rocket up and to the sky, and babies are born and all that more. But that means that in winter it has to slow down to regain nutrition, to compost the growth of last year or the years before into the nutrition for next year's growth. And that is, if we want to be really efficient, again in business but also in personal life, in our personal life, we need to stop looking and stop benchmarking ourselves with other businesses and other people, and start benchmarking ourselves, if you will, with nature. Well, I hope that makes sense. I'm a little bit philosophical again here, but yeah, something I wanted to get out there. So yeah, hope that makes sense. And I hope you're back next time to listen to what I have to say, but also I would like to invite you to participate in it and put some comments or send me an email or join me in the forest here to have conversations like this, because I think it's really important, and I think together we can get society back to a certain level of common sense that is more in tune with nature than it is with other people and with other businesses and with spreadsheets and that kind of shit. So yeah, shoot me up a message or something. And thanks for watching. Edo again.